Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you all are doing well. We are back with a live stream after a long time. Hope you all are doing well. So today what we are going to build is we are going to build a multi-step form in Next.js. So yeah, we are going to build a multi-step form in Next.js with the help of Zustand for state management. Instead of you can also go with Redux or any other library. And then we will use sort for validating all the multi-step forms, and then yeah, we use Tailwind CSS for CSS styling, as I don't want to write like raw CSS. And yeah, we use most probably headless UI for UI library. So just okay. So first of all, we'll create a Next.js app. I hope everyone knows how to create one. So let's head over to Next.js and go to create Next.js app. Let's see what is the command to create a Next.js app. If anyone is online, can you let me know if my voice is audible, loud and clear? There are no viewers, I guess. No, yes. Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, currently we are not doing any kind of like PNPM or anything. Let's just keep it simple. Create next step. So we'll use the latest version here. And okay, let's name the project. It will be multi-step form. Let's use TypeScript. ESLint, yeah, Tailwind, yeah. Currently, we are going to skip app router. And yeah, we want to do aliases. It might take some time. And yeah, let's wait for it and see how it goes. Okay, so there are some issues with Select. I have old Node.js version. I definitely upgrade it, but yeah, currently we can work with this one. So let's just jump into multi-step form and open this into VS Code. Okay, so I have it here. And I use I use file directory on the right side. My voice again. I just check on my PC. Voice is coming fine. We are going to build a multi-step form. Okay. Suppose the voice is good enough, not at the very best. I would prefer, but yeah, this is what we have got currently. So yeah, this is our Next.js project. We have Tailwind config file here. We'll add a couple of things here as well. We have packet.json. It has got dependency React and Next only. Quite good. We have installed TypeScript, types for Node, React, and all that. This is related to Tailwind CSS and all that. Okay. So we have got next config here. Currently, we are not going to dive much deeper into that. So we have the main app function here and then the index. Okay, so first of all, let's try to run the app here. npm run tab. We'll fire up the dev. Okay, so it's up and running. We can go to localhost 3000. Check if it is running completely fine. Okay, I hope that it is running. Okay, so Next.js app is up and running here. Okay, what we can do here is now let's go the basic idea. First of all, I'll give you a basic idea. We will have a multi-step form that would consist of three forms in like as a children. The first would be personal details, then there would be address details, then there would be payment details. So I suppose it would be a multi-form of an e-commerce website where you have to register the user, then you have to enter the address details or like where you have to ship to the user, and then at last you have to get the payment details from the user. Okay, I suppose that's enough. First of all, let's just like do a hello world here and check everything is working fine. Looks good. Uh, is text size good enough? Let's check that. Okay. So yeah, from here we have got the hello world. Let's do a button here. Uh, what that would do here is just simply say create. If there are some functionalities we would implement here afterwards. Currently, let's just say it's a create new user. Doesn't look that good here. It's just a create new. We have Tailwind here, so let's do some styling. Let's say background color. Background would be a kind of 900 gray. Okay, we have to give it a hover. I just forgot. Okay, let's give some padding. Padding X would be x 6, padding Y would be 2. Okay, let's wait 4. So 4 is the all the tailwind like this size classes are mostly multiple of 4. If you do padding X4, it means padding 4 like in the x-axis, and it would be 4 into 4, so 16 pixel. You can also give your custom size here. Go ahead, I think as you want to 12 pixel, you want to write 2 RAM or AM, you can do anything. But yeah, currently we will just stick what like Tailwind provides inbuilt. Do okay. Let's do some rounded corners. Not sharp edges doesn't look that good. And yep, we are good to go from here. We also have this cursor pointer that looks kind of good, and then we have to redirect. So what I'm thinking here is we will also update the routes based on the whichever the form we are in, first step, second or third step. So how it would the route would look here is slash user slash create slash create. Okay. And then afterwards there would be three step as you can see here, either a personal, it will be either personal or other address or other payment. Okay, so yeah, this would be the route, because the route should also suggest like whatever step you are in rather than just naming it 1 2 3 or anything like that. This is kind of good. I suppose you should go with that. So for that what we would need here is we will require some extra routes. So in Next.js to create route, you just simply have to create folders. User inside of user we have create. Okay. Then instead of create, so as I discussed, there were three routes. So rather than creating all three individual routes, what we can do is rather just focus on dynamic route here. Do a type here. So we can just create one route here, which is a type. So it would be retrieved from path parameters. So first of all, for that we have to create some component here. If you want to just, let's say first of all, just try. Uh, this is not some ideal way, but what I like is generally what I prefer is like whenever I'm doing something, I just like to log it or verify it by writing something here, some text or anything. What we can do here is we can also do router dot query dot fact. So we will receive this and yeah, pretty much you can do currently for just the sake of testing. We are doing it. Okay, so as you can see here we have personal. Let's say if I'm doing address, it would be address also. If you do anything like let's say 7, then it could also show 7 here. But that would restrict. We will think about that. Like the user shouldn't be doing this kind of things. So first of all, the personal details would be the first step of our form. So yeah, what we'll do here is you want to redirect the user. So we're using this. Yes. I want next navigation. Like you can do both. It doesn't matter. So what I want to do here is on navigate to create user. So whenever a user is clicking on like the create new user button, the user should be pushed to a certain route. But let's do a good practice here. Create a routes constant rather than just using static things. So what we can do here is create a folder called routes and yeah, routes.ts. You just export one variable, a constant, use routes. Here we can have a user object instead of that. The root route would be user, and then it will be okay. So whenever we have a user create, instead of that we have multiple steps. So we will create an object for that. So rather than doing this type, what we can do is here we can do a uh, personal details. You can just type directly create routes for that. Uh, personal. Okay. We can do anything, but just to here we have to address details. Here it will come address. And then the last we have payments. Payment or payments. Okay. So here we can take our bank information or UPI ID or any kind of thing. And let's say here, so here from now on we can just use the routes. So whenever a route is being changed, you only need to change it from this routes.ts rather than going around everywhere. Okay, it should be in the it should be outside rather than in the pages folder. It should be here. All this ready. and it's create. And then first of all, we want to redirect the user to personal details page. So we do not have any personal details page as of now. We need to create that, and here we have some pages. Okay, let's just first of all try to navigate from here. As you can see, we are being redirected to personal page, a personal form. Looks good. Yeah, it doesn't look just basic things. So we'll create a modules folder. Instead of that, we have user module. Inside of that, we have create folder. Inside of that, extra. Okay, so user can have user listing, user creation, like multiple things can be there. So currently we are just focusing on user create, and here what we can do is export forms. We like mm, a bit much with the naming. So I'm just writing a form here, which we can just use here. So create user form. So like if any of the route is there, let's say personal, address, or payment, it would be redirected to this one. And from here, we would do dynamic checking, like is it a personal address or payment folder, like form. Then we can redirect it according to the it to the next component. Okay, so let's check if it works fine. Create user, okay, create. It looks good. Uh, So what we can do here is instead of create, we can have other three components which would like what I prefer is you should divide your components as much as possible because all these three forms would be different. Let's say what you say different forms. So you rather split it. You never know when it's going to be updated or any kind of thing. Yeah. So you never know when you have to like let's say you have address, then you have to add some other like more fields to address anything like that. So you do not want your components to be like let's say 1,100 lines. So keep it concise. So initial days you should be focusing on how much you can split your components. So yeah, here we have this one. So here we can do personal details dot tsx. TypeScript, if you're like afraid with TypeScript, don't be. It's nothing. Just give it some types. Like if you work and like let's say in some big projects, you will understand why people prefer TypeScript because there are let's say 15, 20 developers working on one same project. One is the developer is changing something, and he might not know like how many changes, like how many places it would affect. So if you're using TypeScript, like he or she cannot even push it because build will fail due to TypeScript if they are changing any object or anything. Address details. Okay, it should be personal details. Like it's after a long time I've been doing the live stream, so bear with me, guys. Address details. Here we have this one. And let's do payment details. So I'm doing a control D. Like if you're thinking like how am I selecting all this? If you're on Windows, you can use Control plus D, and otherwise if you're on Mac, you can use Command plus D. Let's see you are using mostly Windows, so you can do Control plus D. Okay. Okay. So all these three files looks good to me here. So now what we have to do is we have our create user form, which we are being redirected to from like whenever you click on the button, we are being redirected to here. So here what we have to do is we have to do some condition. What is the active tab? According to that, we have to show further things. So what I'm thinking here is we should have tags. Like whenever you go to a multi-stack home, like sometimes you might have seen this kind of tabs. Uh, yeah, looks kind of cool. So we'll use this one and pretty much. So today I'll also show you how you can go to just documentation and copy stuff from there and use it in your own projects. Yeah, like most of the time you just have to copy from the documentation and then alter according to the changes. That's pretty much it. So here they are providing some code, but I don't think so. I want that. I want this kind of design. So this code, it's a bare minimum. This code only provides the JavaScript that you require for like this tab thing, on click and all that, UI change and all that. So it just provides the JavaScript which is required. It doesn't have any styling. If you want to add styling, you can use Tailwind CSS for that. Unless UI gives a good uh, coordination with support with Tailwind CSS. Yeah, I'm out of some of the words. Sorry for that. Okay, you can use disabled. You can just go through the documentation. Uh, on. You can also use vertical. I saw it someplace. Yeah, this one. So if you want, rather than this is a horizontal placement. If you want a vertical placement, you can also do that. Currently, we are not going to do that. But yeah, some client requires like there should be a first year and second, third. Yeah, we are not going to do that. We have installed headless UI. Now, so here you can see the code. They have an example component. It's just some data that we don't require as of now. We only require this tab dot group. Copy this one. Go to VS Code, and yeah. What I prefer is rather than using it directly, I like to create some common components. Instead of modules, we can have a common folder. Here we can place all of our components, enums, that's enums, interfaces for TypeScript and all that kind of things. First of all, let's create one tab, index.css. So what we can name here is we can name it as generate tabs because it will be our own implementation of the tabs, because headless UI or like exports this word which is a tab. So rather than making it confusing, what you can do is let's say we have generic tabs, you can also use SRP tabs. Or if like let's say you are working at let's say Facebook, then you can name it as like FB tabs, like any acronym that you prefer. Just standard tabs looks good and it's good enough. Like you can use it anywhere if you want, like if you name it according to your name or company name, and yeah, you have to refactor when you want to reuse it. So I prefer don't do that. So yeah, now we have to provide this kind of things. I don't want to. And let's say so what we can do is basically I'll give you an idea. This tab.list, what it does is uh, it is responsible for showing this all these three tabs, like recent, popular, trending, all titles and all that kind of things. And then you have this tab.panel. So this tab.panel is responsible for showing the UI. Like if you are selecting popular, then what UI should be shown, trending, then what UI should be shown. It works like that. But I don't like it. I'll just delete it in a couple of minutes. But first of all, uh, so what we want here is we want one title and some content. Like this would be a JS expert element or React or React node. It's just for TypeScript people. If you are coming from, let's say, Java, if you are writing this code in JavaScript, you don't have to worry about this one. But I would prefer to use TypeScript. If you don't know, just go along with me, try it. It would be easy. If you have any doubts, you can leave some comments down. So let's say we would be requiring a tabs, property called tabs that would be of type array, but array of objects. So it would have the label, which is being shown here. So it would be of type string. Then we would have value. So the why we are using value, I'll also like explain it afterwards. Like, see, let's say here we want to show popular, and in our case, it would be like personal details, address details, and payment details. But actual value what we are having here is personal, address, and payment. So in your like production use case also, it might vary, or like most of the time it might vary. The value, like the label which you are showing here, it's not the actual value. It would be like with underscores or anything like that. Here you have to show a label with space and all that. We don't want it to interfere, so that's why we can use value. You can use content. The content would be tough type React Node. React Node. React Node is like nothing. It is just JavaScript component. You can also have is disable. It would be of type boolean. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And one more thing is remaining. We'll do it when we face that particular problem. So it's not like everything is blue. Like because I have developed this kind of component so many times that I remember everything like our things would be required afterwards. But you don't have to be sure from the starting. Like when you are building this component, you don't have to include everything at once. Like whenever and wherever things are required to update or anything, you can just do it on the run. No worries. So we can import tabs here. So rather than looping it on object.keys of categories, we can do tabs, change the name to tab. That's index here. It will become map. Here we have something called class names. So what this class name does is, uh, let's say if you want like this, there is a conditional here of selected, then you have to write this classes for Tailwind. Otherwise, install like yeah, apply this CSS class names. So instead of the other way is like this one. Let me just show you guys. If you want to do backticks, then you write like say b3 write 500. Then if you want to write like selected, then you have to do this type of thing. Selected, then do this, otherwise do this. It doesn't look good. Like let's say if you want to add any other thing also and all, it's React's kind of messy and doesn't look that good. It's just kind of like a good programming developer experience for that kind of purpose we are using this. You can just copy this. I'll also explain you what it does and everything. Just create a utils folder because it is a utility. It will be used throughout our app because it's Tailwind. Okay, Next.js.com. So the spread operator, what it means is all the Tailwind classes will definitely be of type string, but as it is a spread operator, it will be of type array. So what it does is it will first of all filter like whichever the value is true, and then join all of them with a space. I'll explain it to you. First of all, this is a one string. It is of length greater than 0, so yeah, it would be boolean true. So it would join. This first string would be joined with the second string, but our space would be included like this in between, and then this would be included and kind of. Let me just change the name from class names to CS. It's a small name. Small name, small one. Okay. So yeah, we have the tab. So here what we would display is the tabs label. We would display the tab label here. And here are the tab panels. So it could be rendering the tabs content. We have to look through tabs only here also. We don't require this. We just have to tab. Okay. Okay. So TypeScript what it provides also here is the auto suggestion feature. As you saw here, whenever I do a dot, it would show me all the properties that are available. Yeah, it's good enough. Okay, looks kind of good currently. We'll see. First of all, we'll just integrate something and then let's say create user form, right? What you can do here is just call our generic types. Instead of that, let's say what things are required types. So tabs would be of type array, and first object would be label. What is label? Personal label. And there would be value. So first of value, let's not rather like let's not do a direct value. Like is personal because we are using it in this route. We don't want to have any spelling mistake like one is writing address like this, some is making some mistake like spelling mistake. But yeah, we are human at the end. We can make mistakes, but to avoid that, you can use enums. So what enums are basically here is create users tabs. You don't have to write dot enum in the file name and you make it enum, but it's just a good convention that I like to follow. So yeah, from the file name itself, you can say like it's an create users tabs. Yeah. Okay. So you might also wonder why the this autocomplete. I'm using Codian, which is a free tool. You don't have to pay for it like ChatGPT or Copilot. So yeah, we use free things some of the times. So I like to also make all of my enums as capitals to so it is like easily possible. Like it just spots easily. You can spot it very easily. Start. Personality, address, detail, payment, okay, and yeah. So when like if you are changing the route also, then you can just directly update the value of from here itself. It will be good to go. So now what you can do here is create user steps in it. So yep, pretty much basic things, content. We have this personal details and personal details. Is disabled currently it's giving us an error. Is disabled is missing in type because here I'll show you here is disabled is a required field. If you want to make it optional, you can do a question mark here, so it would be an option. You can rather include is disabled. Otherwise, here what we can do is here we can also set a like default value for that. We are not going to do it as anyways with some boolean value. So if it is not provided, then it would be of course. Okay, so if anyone is there, You can text me the live chat or say hi or anything. It will be great. I know someone is watching. So first of all, there is no personal details, and that would be on this. Okay. And there will be payment. Okay, payment details here as well. Alright, so we are good to go here. Let's go to the website and check. Hey man, we have, as you can see here, yeah, this content is being changed. The content is getting changed. Okay, so you might see some error here. Why there is no CSS here? We have seen that there was a couple of good, like this is a good CSS. This UI looks kind of good, but here we have just the bare minimum. It's because we have this new folder called module, and it's inside of that we have created this steps component, and here we have the CSS. So when you go to Tailwind config, they have like wherever when which places the Tailwind is being used. So as you can see here, it is being used in pages, components, and app. We have created a new route which is src and then modules. You can include it like this. And now if you check, hey man, it's good, right? Yeah, so that's how we debug things. Pretty basic. If you don't like, this is being starting the UI, so it's starting from edge to edge. So let's add some padding here and there. Padding X 10, padding Y 10. So it will be 40 pixels from both, like from top and right. You can do 36. That's a good number. But currently, yeah, see, we are not following any principles here. Product. Let's just ignore that kind of things. And just a second. So yeah, you might also see like we have white text and also this background is white. So that's why you're able to see that. So in the tab panels, you can see here we have the background white color. So that's why it was not working. We have removed that. See, yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Rather than just like removing background color at all, what we can do is give some background gray of 950, which is a, like a near black, not complete black. So yeah, it will identifiable. And we don't want this type of focus outlines, never semantics on it. Oops, kind of gross. I don't like it. Some people might. That's not a problem. Okay. I'll call one of I just got a call from one of my friend and I'm asking him to watch live. This no one is watching that. Oh, he's on now. Okay. So we are removing the focus from here. And I think that this color isn't looking good. But yeah, currently we should just keep it as it is. We would think about it afterwards. So for now, we are sorted with personal details, address, and payment details. And yeah, like whenever we are starting, like we definitely build this one, and then we have to restrict if the user hasn't filled these personal details, then they shouldn't be able to go to address details. They have to first of all fill personal details, then and then only they can move ahead to address, and then only they can move ahead to payment details. We would restrict this after once we have the data, we have the validation in place. So, but currently we can ignore that. So this is disabled. That's why we include that flag. Okay. And yeah, one more thing. Let's say here we are changing the data, but here the like this URL isn't being getting changed. let's say I'm going to personal, the UI remains same, and that's not a good thing. It should get updated, right? So for that, what we can do here is whenever a user clicks on any of this tab, we should get an event. On the basis of that, we can change the route. So for that, what we have to do is, as I told, there is one thing missing here. We need to have an on-chain method here as well, which will be passing a value string, which will be the value which we are getting in tabs. It could have returning void. Let's say we have the on-chain method here. So whenever a tab is being clicked, on click of this, what we can do is on-chain tab.value. Okay. So now here we can show information on change to this your value. Here we can first of all just log this value tab value. So we can get the idea like it is working fine. Obviously, you get the value. Okay, working fine. So now what we can do here is change. We can on change tab. Whenever a tab is getting changed, we can receive our value. Create user stats. Should be of type user stats and then here we have to keep it as a string. We know here like all the values we are passing is creating a steps in a model. So we would be receiving type string, but we can pass it as create user steps because we are sure like no other value will be passed because we are only passing the value on change tab. Okay. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, change. Okay. So here what we can do is we can do a switch statement. And we can also do directly push according to the routes. But I don't want to do that. So what we will do here is we will do switch of value. Here we know we would be rather receiving only three values, rather personal details. Then what we can do is router.push. Okay, first of all, we have to import the router of Next.js, router, import use router. Okay. So we have imported the router, so we can just do the push now routers routes dot insert dot create dot. If it is personal details, we have to push it to personal details, basic simple things. Copy this one and paste it 3 times. Because we have address, payment, use, payment. And we don't require a feature because only these three values should be coming here. Now let's check if it is working fine. As you can see, the route is getting updated. Personal address and payment. So yeah, it's working quite pretty well. Now what we need to do here is let's first of all focus on personal details page. I will create the personal details page. So we'll be having some form here. So it will have first name, last name, email, and other kind of things, date of birth, and all that big. So we can wish them on their birthdays or give any voucher or anything like that, any other offers. Yeah. For that, we would use for the state management, because if there is a, let's say, sometimes in the production we have API for each of the step, like personal details is been getting saved first, address details is getting saved. Sometimes what we have is we have all the, like whenever the user fills all these three forms, then in the last step you have a submit button. When a user clicks on that submit button, all of the data is being sent at once. So yeah, sometimes the forms get pretty big, so user might refresh it in the between and network loss. So user wouldn't like to what's it enter the data again. So we can use our local storage for that. We can store the data into local storage for the time being. If the user is also refreshing, then we can, yeah, get the data from the local storage. So we will be using Zustand for that. Zustand for state management. Currently, like we are not interacting with API, so we can avoid the React query. Otherwise, I would prefer using React query also. Okay, so creating a store is pretty easy. You only have to have this kind of things. Let's go to the documentation here of Zustand. So you can what Zustand does is it provides you a variable. You most of the time people name it the like just a hook. We have used state, use effect. So yeah, most of the time people do that. You can use any of the name here. It doesn't matter. That's a good convention to use some names like this. Then you can define the initial variables like in Redux you do. In the reducer, you mention the initial state, so you have all the values like that. Here also you have to mention that, and then you have some actions which you can mention here, and then update the values accordingly. It works quite pretty well. Uh, it's a comparison for different, like how this Assistant compares to Redux and all that. Operating state. So this is what I'm looking for. I want this kind of structure. Okay. So yeah, what we can do here is let's just copy some of the things. Maybe let's state and margin. Oh yeah, and one of the biggest benefit of a system which I like is you can use a state outside of your components as well. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That is like one of the things that hooked me initially to system, and then I discovered many other things also. But yeah, that was a first one. Let's just copy this. First of all, we have to install Zustand, and I suppose it's as simple as writing npm install Zustand. I suppose it should be. Still, we would confirm it once again. Why? Okay, it's npm Zustand. It's good to do confirm if you don't make a spelling mistake or any kind of things. Okay, so other thing, what so good practice here is instead of create like a user can create a folder store. So you don't have to have a centralized store like Redux in System. You can create different multiple stores. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can create a use, create stuff store.ts. I suppose you probably use it. Doesn't matter. Okay, and I also think we have to wrap something. Uh, in order to use, let's suppose, but I don't remember that. Okay, I suppose you don't have to wrap it. That's good to hear that. Okay, you don't need to wrap the whole app into anything. So what we would have here is we'll have personal. It would have first name and the last name. No, we don't want here. Email. Email will be attached to. And then on the phone, yeah, it's good. The address, no address not here. Phone and what other things? Date of birth would be DOB. Would also like include string here also. It would be a fun. Why entity. Not include time since birth. We do not. People don't have to have knowledge about birth. Gender we can do. Let's first of all right now let's keep it simple for this experience also. Then we can do address. Address can be of two types. We can have, let's say, uh, yeah, billing address, and we can have billing address and shipping address both. So first of all, we will have address line one string, address line two string, and then there will be city, state, country, postal code. That's the, let's keep it as zip code. That's what we call it in India. So we'll be doing that. And we have this billing address dash shipping. Good. Okay. Here it will be address details. And let's just follow the convention. Here we have it. Okay. So, and then we have this banking. Payment. Payment currently what we can do is have this account number, bank name. Otherwise, we can have UPI. UPI is nothing, it's just a simple script. Nothing to worry about there. Uh, we can, what we can have here is we can have data that will be okay. We have to have initial data. Initial data that would be of type string. Personal. And let them do the work. And first and last name is an optional field. Email, phone, all of this. There is also option. Uh, we can have an email for this one. Better create one more. And yes. Okay. And we can have made spelling mistake. Then we can have female. Other. Yeah. So that works for me. Currently, I'm only understanding this C. And then we can do gender. gender here. Why is it loading? Okay, we can do a gender and that is my places. Okay, good. Like we can also have some names for city, state, and all that. We are not gonna have that. We're we want for that. Oh, okay. Let me think about that. We'll see what we can do about city, state, and all that. Atlas line 2 is not compulsion. City, state is mandate. Let's skip all other things as a mandate. Atlas line 2 is an optional field. You can rather have the bank details or just quite totally ignore it. Doesn't matter. And here you make prefill. Uh, it was just a gender. Okay. And I want to change the name of this one because see here we facing issues which was like we are not able to understand like is it name or not. That's why naming convention is pretty important. You should name your components and everything pretty well. It's easy for you to understand. Like it just helps you as a developer. User doesn't give any can. They don't care whatever name you are giving. They just want the product to run. Fine. They don't care. We have this self data. It would receive a data of type stat, date, stat. What is stat? Okay. So we can do data, add initial data, and yep, we can then do set data. We should set the data. Pretty basic stuff. Yeah. Suppose I have to run all of these things. And we have this one as well. What's the issue here? Let's just undo this one and keep the thing simple first of all. Let's see whatever is it. What? Oh man. Action result of that this above has a different time. It has a different which okay. What it now is site data. You receive type states, that state action. Okay. I just What I want to do is just to have some simple states rather than doing some complex things here and there. Yeah, we should. Okay, this is pretty good. Now, why isn't it assigning? I want to assign. I guess I'm missing something here. Yeah, let's just uh, use search. First of all, let's just do type of user. Create user would be a type. Would have all these details. So let's split this up. So it will be create user, and there will be some actions responsible to have. Okay, it will be of type create user. We can get the data that will be of type create user, and then having state and I don't need this. One just in the initial data. Initial data can be of type that. We don't want the anything current state. We don't want to have that. Okay. And just rather than using this function, what I can do is use an arrow function here, which will have data, and then it will start instead of set. We can have a callback function that will set the data. Yeah. Use rather than person. We can write use kids. It looks good. Now it's pretty good. In order to use it, we have to go to person speech, and let's have an input here. Basic input. We are just testing. First of all, does it even work? Yeah, well, you can be sure. Type text. You can text. I forgot I was writing string there. Okay, we can have a value. It will be data Next, import from use create. Have we exported this? We need to export and with the correct spelling. Oh, I use create steps for. Oh, okay. We have a data and we have a send data. Send up to. We have personal and then we have first name. Name here would be first name. On change, you get an event. That event would be responsible. We are not writing the final code here. We are just writing for the demo. So that's why I'm using inline on change. We will create an on change function as well. Let's just use okay. Yeah, looks pretty good. We are setting the data. First of all, we are loading the whatever the data is there in the state, and then we are updating the new fields. We can avoid this if we want to. Don't want to do that. And yeah, we can also display the value here. Just cross verify. Okay. Default export is not React component. What are you saying, my man? Use the React component now. It was nothing like we didn't use default export, so that's why it was giving us an error. But we have fixed that, and we have this input. Let's just enter 7, as you can see. Yeah, Tailwind CSS. It kind of it's because like, we are not able to see that. Let's just do a text left. Yeah, SRP fixes. As you can see, we are getting the update data. If you want to log, use a log. I don't want to currently. Okay. It works fine. So now we need to create a proper form. For that, what we can use is field class and flags. That will be a flags column. And we can have another views here. It will be a flags row, and it will be divided into two parts. So what is man? We would have, let's say, three views. First of all, right? Currently, we are just setting up the initial structure. Yeah. We have the first one, second one. It can be to view here is with full, and here also we need to view with full. But now there will be one issue. So we'll find out just a bit. Yeah, why the border is not there? Because we have only given the color to the border and not the actual border. Okay. So, but as you can see here, there is no spacing in between. So for that, we can use gap. And we can increase. Okay, this looks pretty bad. Suppose it's 1 hour and 10 minutes since we are doing the live stream. I suppose, is anyone watching live currently? You can just send a text, then I'll continue the live. Otherwise, I'll wait later on. Let me know in the comments if anyone is watching currently. Okay. So as no one is watching live, so I would be doing a live stream maybe tonight, the second part of this one. Yeah, can see what I can do. Let's see. Part one. So yeah, that was pretty much all for this video, guys. I'll be doing the another live tonight or maybe tomorrow. Okay, so thank you guys so much, guys, for watching. If you liked any part in the video, you can mention it down in the comments. It really motivates me to make the more and more videos of this kind. And also, if you have any doubts, feel free to ping me in the comment section down below or my Instagram handles, GitHub, LinkedIn. You can ping me anywhere. I'm happy to help you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Bye bye.